New reality TV shows truly capture the hearts and minds of viewers across the globe. One show that has done just that since its debut in 2009 is Pawn Stars on the History Channel. This beloved series masterfully blends entertainment, historical insight, and intense negotiations. At the core of it all is Rick Harrison, the co-founder of the show and the driving force behind the family pawn shop. But behind the scenes of fame and success lies a story filled with personal hardships, family struggles, and legal challenges, many of which the public rarely hears about. Let's take a deep dive into Rick Harrison's journey, uncover what happened along the way, and get a closer look at his current condition. Richard Kelvin Harrison, known by fans worldwide as Rick Harrison, was born on March 22, 1965, to Richard Benjamin Harrison and Joanne Rue Harrison. Rick grew up in a bustling household with three siblings, Sherry, Joseph, and Chris, making him the third child in the family. But even from a young age, Rick was no stranger to tragedy and hardship. One of the most heart-wrenching moments of Rick's childhood was the loss of his eldest sibling, Sherry Joanne Harrison. Sherry was born with Down syndrome and passed away at just 6 years old. This early encounter with loss shaped Rick's understanding of life and the challenges it brings. Rick's father, Richard Benjamin Harrison, served as a U.S. Navy veteran. In 1967, when Rick was only 2 years old, the family relocated to San Diego, California, following his father's military transfer. However, life didn't get easier for young Rick. At the age of 8, Rick began experiencing epileptic seizures. These episodes became a significant obstacle in his life, forcing him to spend long periods confined to his bed. But instead of falling into despair, Rick turned to books for comfort and escape. His love for reading blossomed, and he immersed himself in literature. One of his favorite series was The Great Brain by John D. Fitzgerald, which tells the story of a clever 10-year-old con artist named Tom D. Fitzgerald. The character's wit and resourcefulness left a lasting impression on Rick, sparking his fascination with negotiation and strategy. In addition to literature, Rick developed a deep love for history, particularly the era of the Royal Navy in the late 1700s and early 1800s. Rick attended Taft Middle School in San Diego, but his time in the classroom was short-lived. He dropped out during the 10th grade, choosing instead to pursue a different path. At just 16 years old, Rick began selling counterfeit Gucci handbags, earning $2,000 a week, a staggering amount for a teenager. This early hustle revealed his entrepreneurial spirit and determination to make a living, no matter the odds. In April 1981, life took another sharp turn when the Harrison family relocated to Las Vegas, Nevada. The move came after his parents' real estate business collapsed, forcing the family to seek new opportunities. At 17 years old, Rick faced a life-changing event when his girlfriend became pregnant. Though still a teenager himself, Rick embraced the idea of fatherhood with surprising maturity. Sadly, their first child was lost to a miscarriage, a heartbreaking experience for the young couple. Despite the tragedy, Rick and Kim stayed committed to each other and eventually married in 1982. This early phase of Rick's life was filled with challenges, health issues, family losses, financial instability, and the responsibilities of young parenthood. Yet, these experiences shaped the man he would become: a resilient, resourceful individual, ready to turn every setback into an opportunity. Rick's ability to overcome life's hurdles didn't just stop at his personal life. His love for history, sharp business instincts, and relentless drive laid the foundation for what would later become Pawn Stars. The pawn shop, originally a small family business, grew into a global phenomenon under his leadership. While millions watched Rick masterfully negotiate deals on TV, very few knew the full extent of the personal and legal challenges he faced behind the scenes. Rick Harrison's journey proves that success is rarely a straight path. It's a winding road filled with obstacles, and only those with the courage to persevere truly make it to the top. Rick Harrison's journey through parenthood and business began in 1983 when he and his wife Kim welcomed their first child, Corey, on April 27th. Corey would later become a cornerstone of the family business, playing a key role alongside his father. 2 years later, the couple celebrated the arrival of their second son, Adam. But despite the joy of parenthood, their relationship began to falter. In 1985, shortly after Adam's birth, Rick and Kim separated. However, Rick's days as a single father didn't last long. Just 9 months after his divorce, Rick met Tracy, and sparks flew. Their relationship moved quickly, and within 8 months of dating, the two tied the knot in 1986. Together, Rick and Tracy embraced the responsibility of raising Corey and Adam, building a family life while navigating the challenges that lay ahead. Rick's lifelong passion for history and love of learning paid off in unexpected ways. His deep knowledge became a crucial asset when his father, Richard Benjamin Harrison, opened a small second-hand gold and silver coin shop in 1981. Situated along Las Vegas Boulevard South, the store was modest, just 300 square feet, but its potential was limitless. Rick's knack for historical research gave the shop a unique edge. He could provide fascinating historical context for each item, adding credibility and value that set the store apart from typical pawn shops. His ability to tell compelling stories about the objects they sold helped attract a loyal customer base. However, Rick's work didn't end when the shop closed for the night. To make ends meet, he took on a grueling second job, repossessing cars. His tireless work ethic laid the groundwork for the success that would eventually follow. In 1986, the business outgrew its original location, prompting the Harrisons to relocate to a larger store on Fremont Street. But their time there was cut short when they lost the lease just 2 years later. Rick and his father had long envisioned transforming the coin shop into a full-fledged pawn shop, seeing it as the next logical step in their business journey. However, turning that dream into reality wasn't easy. They found themselves up against a local law enacted in 1955, which limited the number of pawn licenses issued in Las Vegas based on the city's population. For years, the Harrisons waited patiently for the right opportunity, knowing they could only apply for a pawn license when the population reached a certain threshold. Finally, in 1989, with the city's population surpassing 250,000, Rick and his father submitted their application. Yet, even with the timing in their favor, the road to securing a license wasn't without hurdles. They faced legal challenges, navigating complex regulations and city bureaucracy before they were finally granted their pawn license later that year. With the license in hand, Rick and his father took the leap, transforming their coin shop into a full-service pawn shop. The shift marked the beginning of what would eventually become Pawn Stars, a business that would grow beyond their wildest dreams. Rick Harrison and his father, Richard Benjamin Harrison, took a bold step in 1989 by opening the gold and silver pawn shop at 713 Las Vegas Boulevard South, not far from the bustling Las Vegas Strip. At the outset, they focused on selling rare sports memorabilia and unique historical artifacts. However, as time went on, the demand for jewelry began to outshine everything else. Jewelry quickly became their top-selling item, driving significant revenue and establishing the shop as a key player in the Las Vegas pawn business. With each passing year, the gold and silver pawn shop expanded its reputation and customer base. By 2005, the business was thriving, lending out millions of dollars annually and generating hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest income. The Harrisons weren't just building a pawn shop, they were creating a financial institution that filled a critical niche in Las Vegas. The shop gained notoriety not just for jewelry, but also for housing an impressive collection of sports memorabilia. In 2006, it became especially known for high-profile items, including a Super Bowl ring from 2001, once owned by NFL player Brock Williams. This ability to stock rare and valuable sports items made the shop a favorite destination for collectors, sports fans, and even curious tourists. The shop's strategic location near the Strip allowed it to serve more than just collectors. Over time, it became a lifeline for many gamblers who had lost their luck at the tables. Desperate to get back home, these gamblers would bring their possessions, anything from watches to electronics, to pawn for gas money. Rick and his father had seen it all, learning that every item came with a story and every customer had a lesson to teach. This unique blend of people, items, and stories slowly turned the gold and silver pawn shop into more than just a place to trade goods. It became a microcosm of Las Vegas itself, filled with risk, reward, and second chances. By 2008, the shop's rising popularity caught the attention of Brent Montgomery and Colby Gaines from Left Field Pictures. The duo visited Las Vegas that year, intrigued by the variety of pawn shops scattered throughout the city. They were fascinated not only by the rare items these shops held, but also by the colorful, sometimes shady characters who ran them. Montgomery and Gaines immediately saw the potential for a reality show that could capture the drama and intrigue of the pawn world. They believed that a pawn shop wasn't just a place for transactions. It was a stage where fascinating stories unfolded every day. In July 2009, their vision became a reality when Pawn Stars premiered on the History Channel. The show offered a behind-the-scenes look at the day-to-day operations of the gold and silver pawn shop, showcasing not just the items but also the negotiations, relationships, and personalities that made the shop so special. Rick, his father, and the rest of the crew became instant celebrities, beloved for their humor, expertise, and candid approach to business. What started as a family business evolved into a global sensation, with Pawn Stars becoming one of the most popular reality TV shows in history. The show perfectly captured the essence of the pawn business. Every item with a story, every deal with a twist, and every interaction full of personality. It wasn't just about pawning goods. It was about uncovering history, sharing knowledge, and embracing the human stories behind each item. When producers from Left Field Pictures set out to find a family-owned pawn shop to feature in a new TV series, they knew they needed a place with charm, personality, and interesting stories. Eventually, they found exactly what they were looking for, just 2 miles from the Las Vegas Strip. The Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. The shop wasn't new to the spotlight either. Back in 2001, it had been featured in a PBS documentary, and Rick Harrison, the manager and co-owner, had long dreamed of having his own TV show. Rick even made a small TV appearance in 2003 on Insomniac with Dave Attell, hoping it would open more doors. After years of trying, the idea for a reality show finally came to life, though the journey wasn't without challenges. The initial pitch was presented to HBO, but the network didn't like the concept. However, instead of scrapping the project, the producers decided to reimagine the show as a family-friendly series. What started as pawning history soon evolved into Pawn Stars, a playful pun on porn stars that captured the humorous side of the show. Filming for Pawn Stars takes place inside the famous gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas, Nevada. Although jewelry is the most frequently pawned item, the shop's customers bring in a wide range of vintage and antique treasures, each with a story to tell. The shop holds over 10,000 items in its inventory at any given time, from rare sports memorabilia to historic artifacts. During filming, the store closes to the public, with only a few approved customers allowed inside. This ensures the authenticity of the interactions while keeping the production running smoothly. What viewers see on TV isn't just a business. Pawn Stars offers a unique blend of negotiation, education, and entertainment, giving audiences an inside look at the fascinating world of pawning. From the moment it premiered in July 2009, Pawn Stars captured viewers' imaginations. With its blend of humor, history, and heartfelt moments, it earned glowing reviews and quickly became one of the most watched shows on the History Channel. By January 2011, Pawn Stars was not only the top-rated show on the network, but also the second highest reality show in the US, trailing only behind Jersey Shore. Rick Harrison's growing fame led to the release of his autobiography, License to Pawn: Deals, Steals, and My Life at the Gold and Silver on June 7, 2011. The book became a hit, reaching number 22 on the New York Times bestseller list just a few weeks later. However, that same year brought personal changes for Rick. He and his second wife, Tracy, ended their marriage. Despite 2 divorces, Rick found love again. In 2012, he announced his engagement to Deanna Burdett, who had also been through her own divorce. The two married in a beautiful ceremony in Laguna Beach, California, where Rick also gained 3 stepdaughters, Serena, Tiana, and Marissa. During this time, Rick's popularity soared, and he began making cameo appearances outside of Pawn Stars. In November 2012, Rick, Corey, and Chumley appeared as themselves in an episode of iCarly titled I Lost My Head in Vegas. Just 4 days later, Rick made another cameo, this time playing an antique store owner in an episode of The Middle. His television presence extended beyond Pawn Stars, solidifying his status as a pop culture figure. In January 2014, Rick became the spokesperson for the Micro Touch One razor, a men's shaving product, and even starred in a TV commercial for it. The Harrison family's brand continued to grow that summer with the premiere of United Stuff of America, another History Channel show produced by the creators of Pawn Stars. This series spotlighted significant artifacts from important moments in history, echoing the themes that made Pawn Stars a success. In July 2014, the family launched a game show spin-off called Pawnography, which featured Rick, Corey, and Chung-Li competing against contestants. The goal? Preventing contestants from winning cash and prized items from the gold and silver pawn shop's inventory. The show added a fun, competitive twist to the pawn shop concept, further expanding the Harrison family's television empire. Amid all the success and fame, life dealt the Harrisons a heartbreaking blow. In June 2018, Rick's father, Richard the Old Man Harrison, passed away. As a beloved figure on Pawn Stars, the old man's wit, wisdom, and no-nonsense demeanor were integral to the show's charm. His death marked the end of an era, both for the shop and the family, leaving a lasting void. Rick Harrison announced the heartbreaking death of his father, Richard the Old Man Harrison, to his 245,000 Instagram followers. In his post, Rick revealed that Parkinson's disease was the cause of his father's passing. The family's spokesperson confirmed the news with the same statement Rick shared on social media. The History Channel also released a heartfelt statement expressing their deep sorrow over the loss. "We are very sad about the passing of our friend, Richard the Old Man Harrison, a beloved member of the History Channel and Pawn Stars family. We will miss his wisdom and honesty. Our hearts are with the Harrison family during this difficult time." Losing his father was a devastating blow for Rick. The old man's presence had been integral to both the shop's charm and the show's success, leaving Rick with a heavy burden. He was now solely responsible for managing both the family and the business. Just as Rick was adjusting to life without his father, the pandemic hit in 2019, presenting another set of challenges. Many would assume that pawn shops would thrive during tough times, as people in need of quick cash would flock to them. Initially, business did see a small boost, but as the pandemic dragged on, that momentum fizzled out. In an interview with Fox News, Rick explained how the global pandemic disrupted the pawn shop industry. With travel and social activities reduced to only essential tasks, visiting a pawn shop was no longer a priority for many. The sudden decline in business forced Rick to partially close the store in March 2020, when the pandemic cases surged. While the financial services aspect of the business remained operational, the tourist side of the shop, which relied heavily on visitors, was shut down for 30 days. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the shop's CFO shared that despite the challenges, the store adapted. "We kept buying assets and running the loan business through our night window 24/7, knowing there were people out there who needed help." Even with these setbacks, Rick wasn't ready to give up. In an interview with a Las Vegas news station in April 2020, he emphasized his determination. "We lowered the interest rates and gave people extra time to retrieve their items. This town has given me a lot over the years, and I always try to give back." At the time, Rick believed the economy would bounce back in 6 months. Unfortunately, his prediction was overly optimistic. According to the Daily Mail, the gold and silver pawn shop, which typically generates over $1 million per year, earned only $37,746 in 2020 due to the pandemic's severe economic impact. On top of business difficulties, Rick's personal life also took a hit. In September 2020, Rick married Deanna Burdett, but their relationship quickly deteriorated. Court documents obtained by TMZ revealed that Rick and Deanna had drifted apart, with irreconcilable differences causing strain in their marriage. Rick explained in the divorce suit that their opinions, tastes, and preferences had become so different that it was impossible to sustain their relationship. The divorce happened during the height of the George Floyd protests, so it didn't garner much public attention. In an interview with TMZ, Rick reflected on the situation with a sense of acceptance. "I got 3 great daughters out of the marriage," he said, referring to Deanna's daughters from her previous marriage, Serena, Kiana, and Marissa. He added, "It didn't work out, and the divorce was mutual." Despite the end of his marriage, Rick stayed focused on what mattered most. In the months following the divorce, he shared photos with his daughters on Instagram, showing that he had moved on from the breakup and was cherishing his role as a father. The loss of his father, the economic hit from the pandemic, and the end of his 3rd marriage could have easily derailed Rick Harrison, both personally and professionally. However, Rick's resilience shines through. Whether managing his business through a global crisis or navigating personal challenges, Rick has demonstrated the same grit and determination that built the gold and silver pawn shop into a Las Vegas icon. Despite his personal struggles, Rick Harrison has shown love and care for his stepdaughters, treating them as if they were his own children. On August 7th, he shared a heartfelt Instagram post captioned "Father-Daughter Day Off-Roading," reflecting his commitment to their relationship. Rick has made similar expressions of affection towards his stepdaughters in the past, proving that even in the face of adversity, he remains dedicated to family. Rick managed these difficult times with the unwavering support of his son Corey and his best friend Austin "Chumley" Russell. A year after his divorce from Deanna Burdett, Rick married his 4th wife, Amanda Palmer, hoping for a fresh start and stability. But just when things seemed to be improving, a new wave of challenges emerged. In February 2022, Rick faced unexpected legal troubles, not with business competitors, but within his own family. His mother, Joanne Rue Harrison, filed a lawsuit against him regarding family assets and ownership of the gold and silver pawn shop. The civil suit, filed in Nevada State Court, named Rick, the gold and silver pawn shop, Harrison Properties, Jorick Properties, and others as defendants. Managing a family business often brings emotional and financial complexity, and unfortunately, those challenges seem to have fractured the relationship between Rick and his mother. Joanne's complaint accused Rick of breaching a contract and exploiting her ownership stake in the shop. One of the most shocking details in the lawsuit is Joanne's claim that Rick had her sign over her 51% ownership of the business under troubling circumstances. According to Joanne, Rick persuaded her to sign the transfer shortly after she woke from a coma in the early 2000s, when she was in a vulnerable state and unable to fully understand what she was signing. These allegations cast a shadow on Rick's public image, as fans had long admired him as a family-oriented individual. Many were surprised to hear that the man who seemed so committed to family on screen was now involved in a bitter legal dispute with his own mother. The lawsuit also revealed additional grievances from Joanne regarding her late husband Richard's assets. When Richard, the old man Harrison, passed away in 2018, his 49% stake in the pawn shop was transferred to Joanne. However, Joanne claimed that Rick withheld essential financial records from her, including details about $500,000 in cash and silver that Richard reportedly owned before his death. Joanne also alleged that Rick stopped sending her $25,000 monthly payments from her late husband's share of the business. These payments, which had provided financial support, ceased in 2020, prompting Joanne to take legal action to reinstate them. In a move that signaled how serious the dispute had become, Joanne filed a temporary restraining order against Rick. This court order was designed to prevent him from selling or hiding any family assets. It also restricted him from taking any financial actions that would reduce Joanne's stake in the family business. The lawsuit demanded unspecified damages, a full account of the family's assets, and a court order establishing a constructive trust to ensure Rick could no longer access his mother's money. In response to the legal battle, Rick publicly denied the accusations, claiming the situation was not as it appeared. In an interview addressing the lawsuit, he expressed his belief that his 81-year-old mother was being influenced by outside parties for their personal gain. "The accusations are untrue," Rick stated firmly. "I believe that my mother is being manipulated by others who are trying to benefit from her vulnerability." Despite the bitter legal dispute, Rick has maintained a public image of calm, continuing to post photos with his stepdaughters and highlighting the joy he still finds in family. Rick Harrison's life has been marked by highs and lows, celebrity success, the loss of his father, the challenges of running a business during the pandemic, and now, a deeply personal legal battle with his mother. Through it all, Rick has fought to protect his business and family relationships, even as his public image has been tested. This complicated chapter in Rick's life reminds fans that family businesses are not immune to internal conflicts. Running a family business can be complicated, but for Rick Harrison, the challenges have been far deeper than just managing finances. His most recent battles have left him feeling vulnerable, particularly with his mother Joanne's lawsuit, as she approached her 80s with serious health complications requiring around-the-clock care, costing up to $155,000 a month. Joanne expressed fears about whether she would have enough money to cover her medical and personal expenses. Joanne's decision to pursue a legal battle against her son was both surprising and heartbreaking for Rick. According to him, he first heard about the restraining order request through news reports. Confused by the sudden legal conflict, Rick explained, "I've tried to contact her many times over the past few months, but I haven't been able to The situation left Rick baffled, especially since one of the companies being sued is fully owned by Joanne herself. Even amidst these family disputes, Rick was unprepared for what would become the most devastating loss of his life. In January 2024, Rick's world was shattered when he tragically lost his 39-year-old son, Adam Harrison, to an overdose. A public information officer from Clark County, Nevada, confirmed that Adam's cause of death was a fentanyl and methamphetamine overdose, which the medical examiner ruled as accidental. Concerns about Adam's well-being began after a neighbor noticed his absence following January 17th. Sadly, 2 days later, his landlord found him unresponsive and alerted law enforcement. Rick announced his son's passing on Instagram by sharing a photo of them together at a restaurant. His caption was heartfelt. "You'll always be in my heart. I love you, Adam." He punctuated the message with a broken heart emoji, capturing the depth of his grief. The family spokesperson, Laura Hervich, issued a statement on January 22nd, confirming that Adam's death was due to a fentanyl overdose. She asked the public to respect the family's privacy during this difficult time, saying, "We are deeply saddened by Adam's passing. Please respect our privacy as we mourn his loss." Rick also expressed his thoughts about the wider issue, stating, "The fentanyl crisis in this country needs to be addressed more seriously." Support for Rick flooded in after his announcement. Among the many condolences, Donald Trump Jr. commented, "I'm so sorry, man." Rick's son, Corey Harrison, also posted a touching tribute on Instagram, sharing a childhood photo of himself and Adam. His caption read, "I'll always love you, Bubba." Although Adam never appeared on Pawn Stars, he had previously worked at the gold and silver pawn shop before deciding to become a plumber. Corey explained that Adam wasn't interested in being part of the TV show, preferring a more private life. Despite these tragic losses and personal setbacks, Rick continues to present a positive front. He hides his pain behind his trademark bright smile, keeping the focus on family and business. In recent years, Rick has also dabbled in politics, endorsing Donald Trump for president and Daniel Rodimer for Nevada's 3rd congressional district in 2020. He even considered running for governor of Nevada in 2022 and hinted at a potential run for the U.S. Senate in 2024. Rick told reporters, "A lot of people in the party have talked to me about it, and I always consider it. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm keeping my options open." In addition to his ventures into politics, Rick earned one of the highest civilian honors, Kentucky Colonel status, in June 2023. During an episode of the spin-off series Pawn Stars Do America, Rick was officially inducted into the Kentucky Colonel's Grand Parlor at Locust Grove. This prestigious title, awarded by the Governor of Kentucky, reflects his contributions to society and honors his achievements. Though Rick no longer works full-time at the pawn shop, his presence in the entertainment world remains strong. He continues to star in Season 2 of Pawn Stars Do America, enjoying the perks of semi-retirement and reality TV fame. Rick now spends more time with his grandchildren and family, balancing personal fulfillment with public responsibilities. Through family disputes, tragic losses, and legal challenges, Rick Harrison has faced some of the toughest moments of his life. Yet he continues to persevere with the same determination that has made him a successful businessman and reality TV star. Even as he navigates through legal battles with his mother, the devastating loss of his son, and the public spotlight, Rick remains committed to his business, family, and personal growth. While he may not, Rick Harrison's life has been a roller coaster of highs and lows, family triumphs, painful losses, legal battles, and hard-earned victories. Through it all, he's proven that no matter how tough things get, resilience and grit always shine through. From running the iconic gold and silver pawn shop to mourning loved ones and navigating personal challenges, Rick continues to write his story one chapter at a time as he embraces a new phase, balancing family, fame, and his next big move. One thing's for sure, Rick's journey is far from over. What lies ahead? Only time will tell, but if history is any indication, Rick will be ready to face it with his signature smile and unbreakable spirit. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more stories and updates. Until next time.